I think about the homoeroticism in Berserk more than I care to admit, and there's one scene in particular in episode 7 that I just can't get out of my mind. See, during the aftermath of a battle, Guts has a little private conversation with Griffith, and during this conversation, he works up the courage to ask Griffith what he actually means to him. Because the thing is, Griffith is a great man and a great leader of many hundreds of soldiers, and Guts is merely one of those hundreds. And by all rights, Guts should be completely disposable, completely interchangeable with any other. And yet, every time Guts is in mortal danger, Griffith risks his life to save him, and he does this in a way that he does for no other of his soldiers. So Guts finally works up the courage to ask Griffith, why does he do this? What does Guts actually mean to him? But Griffith is very coy about his response. He refuses to answer Guts outright. He simply asks him, Guts, do you really need an answer when time and again I lay my life down for you? Do my actions themselves not tell you everything you need to know? And that is all Griffith will reveal about the workings of his own heart. And that whole conversation between Griffith and Guts, that is actually the context for the scene that I really want to talk about, which happens later that very night. Guts finds a private space on the roof of some house to ponder Griffith's words to him in isolation. And we, the audience, are invited to listen to Guts' internal monologue, where he kind of convinces himself that Griffith, after all, really does love him. Because apparently Guts really needs this validation, so if Griffith won't give it to him explicitly, Guts is going to tell himself a little story where he can make sense of what he means to Griffith. And the thing that I love about this scene so much and that I keep thinking about is that the entire time that Guts is telling himself this little story about how much Griffith really does love him, he's also holding his sword in such a way that the sword unmistakably looks like a giant phallus. And even though that phallic symbol is objectively hilarious, it's also played with utter deadly seriousness in the show, which frankly I have a lot of respect for, because I think Berserk is great. And the deadly seriousness with which this phallic image is presented to the viewer has made me ask myself the following question. What is its artistic purpose? What is it trying to communicate about Guts? And well, I've thought about this question for a while, and I want to tell you what my answer is. First of all, it's pretty clear that Guts' sword functions as a substitute for the phallus. And I want to tell you why I think this substitution in particular expresses something important about the psychological truth of Guts' relationship to Griffith. Because here's the thing. Earlier, during Guts' conversation with Griffith, the whole reason why he wanted to know what he means to Griffith is because he can see that he is more than an ordinary soldier in Griffith's eyes. But here's a question. If Guts is more than a soldier to Griffith, what is it about Guts that makes him more than a soldier to Griffith? Well, here's the paradox. Guts is more than a soldier to Griffith because Guts is so good at being a soldier for Griffith. He is the greatest soldier of all time, and that makes him more than a soldier. It makes him Griffith's beloved, because Griffith loves great soldiers. And this is the reason why Guts' sword is also more than a sword. Guts' sword is more than a mere sword in the same way that he is more than a mere soldier. The sword is also the tool by which Guts wins Griffith's love, because Guts' proficiency with it knows no equal. And for that reason, it also symbolically acquires the status of a phallus. And in particular, it acquires that status precisely during Guts' private musings, when he contemplates the way in which he has won a position as Griffith's special boy.